Okay, so let's use an example to bring up a point. Okay, so here we have this system, right? So if we solve this system, so let's write it as a augmented matrix. So we get 3, 2, 4, -1, 3, 1, right? And so if we solve this, what do we get? Right, so we're going to do what, 2/3, right? -2/3. R1 plus R2. And so that gives us what? It gives us the matrix 3, 4, 3, 0, -2/3, so that'd be -8/3. -8/3 minus 1, which would be -11/3, right? So yeah, -2/3, so that'd be -8/3 minus 1, yes. And then of course, -2/3 here would be -2 plus 1, which is -1, right? And here, we're done. Because now we know, we can see that, this is going to give us a solution that y is equal to 11/3. Or excuse me. Do this over. Y is going to equal 3/11, right? Okay, so we can solve this, but let's see what happens if we set up a homogeneous system of equations. So what we're going to do is instead of this, why don't we set up 3, 4, 2, -1, oops, and 0. And again, it's going to go the same way, right? The same operation, right? We have to do the same operation. So it's going to be -2/3 R1 plus R2. And so what do we do? What do we get? So this is going to be 3, 4, 0. And what are we going to get here? We get, well, the same thing, right? 2, -11/3, and 0, right? So nothing changes, except now we have this, right? And this, right? So if we compare those two, the reduction goes the same way. So we can study how to reduce a linear system by instead studying its associated homogeneous system than the original system. Okay. Now here's the other thing too to keep in mind is unlike this system or the one thing that's very nice about dealing with homogeneous systems is that there's always a solution. They're never inconsistent, right? Here, if you deal with the original, a non-homogeneous system, then you could have an inconsistency. Here, you'll always have a consistency because you'll always have a solution which would be the trivial solution, which is the zero matrix, okay? So that's one of the aspects that I want to point out in doing this example. Okay, anything else here? Nope, that's it. So let's do another example and we'll go forward.